More Heart Than Talent Radio.
Jeffery Combs, president and founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated, on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, September 10th. More Heart Than Talent live in the Golden Mastermind Seminar Studios. Just getting a little dialed in right here. Looking forward to having a great call. Looking forward to having a great Facebook Live. Bob Tierney, good to see you on the call today. I will see Bob this Friday night in Chicago, Illinois, and I'll be speaking from many of his team members this Saturday. Eric Picard, good to see you here on Facebook Live. I'll be meeting you for the first time in person. Lisa from Florida. Alicia, good to see you. Scott Lucas. Maureen, so proud of you. Maureen, you're one of the most courageous women I've ever met. So just getting all ready here. Taking a deep breath, releasing and letting go. So the theme for today is always letting go. I just hosted a 2.5-day event called Breakthroughs to Success in Stockton, California, number 125. And the theme of that event is I'm always letting go. For those of you who are in the sobriety consciousness group, that is also a theme, always letting go. So instead of being always overwhelmed, always overweight, always behind, always late, I'm always letting go. It means you're separating your feelings from the events that shape them. So a few more of you are coming in here as we're getting ready to start. Now the topic for today's Facebook Live is going to be, and it's a great topic, it's going to be present moment consciousness. I had to check out for a second to get in the present. So present moment consciousness means I'm here and I'm now. In the 2000s, a groundbreaking book called The Power of Now was released, followed by another book by the same author, Eckhart Tolle. Is that Tolle or Tolle? I mean, Eckhart, Tolle. So he wrote a second book called Stillness Speaks, and the third book, A New Earth. Now in those books, Tolle breaks down what it means to be here and to be present and to be now. What it means for you in context is that you're not out in the future worrying about situations that haven't happened. You are focused on being right here, right now, and you're focused on solutions and results in what you're capable of overcoming, creating, producing, and then learning how to relax in a relaxed body. And that's not a contradiction, relaxed in a relaxed body. It means that in consciousness, you're aware, you understand, and you know. You're not in an overwhelmed state. If you own a business, it requires sales, branding, marketing, writing skills. It also requires you to have know skills, understand skills, be aware skills, be conscious skills. Consciousness is awareness. It means I know, I understand. It's an elevated state above anxiety, fear, and doubt. And when you move into that elevated state of consciousness, you are now above the energies of anger, hate, resentment, guilt, shame, abandonment, rejection, overwhelmed feelings, grief, and apathy. And in this state of awareness, you are here and you are now. So when situations happen, you now have the reflexes to adapt and adjust rather than going into fight or flight. What many people don't understand is their body reacts to the stimulus, meaning that in an unconscious situation, the body goes into fight or flight. It flexes and flinches based on unresolved issues from past events. As you're always letting go, as you let go, as letting go becomes a skill, then you're a lot more aware and you're not more present. You're not focused on situations that haven't happened, and you learn to focus on what's right in front of you, what you're in command of. Now, the word control is a misused word oftentimes in spirituality and consciousness. Many people say, I want to control, I want to be in control, I'm in control. He played in control. Now, in sports, it means that the player is having a great game. He controlled the game, controlled the outcome. So there's a duality in the word. So it's not a right or wrong situation. But in context for where you are today, your objective is to let go of control. Control is worry. Worry is about the outcome. As you're letting go of control and not worried about an outcome or not worried about the future, all I have to worry about is my success. No, you don't worry about success. You create it. You attain it. You be successful. Oh, I'm so worried I'm going to get in trouble. Well, I'm overcoming that myself. In my 20s, I got in trouble with the law a lot. Drugs, alcohol, driving, DUIs, public intoxications. It created a neurological network of neurons that wire and fire that I'm like looking over my shoulder. I'd hear a siren and I'd freak. I remember once the helicopter was above my apartment and I was convinced that I was being spied on. This is the analytical, egoic mind that wants to silently suffer. And as you begin to separate your feelings from these events, that's what letting go is, separating my feelings from events, then you're not the mind-body connection, meaning that you don't attract your reality, disease and illness, people and situations to fulfill a set of feelings that keep you emotionally overwhelmed. And as you let go of that overwhelmed state, now you can be and stay present. So being present, just like letting go is a skill. So being present, the skill is that you're not looking over your shoulder at regret. That would be some of your shame. And you're not worried about the future, which would be control and anxiety and fear and doubt. You're not worried about that. And you've taught yourself how to be present. Now, being present is not a how do I state, although there is a skill set to it. How do I? Being present is a skill that is mastered by, once again, it sounds redundant, but letting go. And what that means is that I'm not consumed, I'm not worried, I'm not overwhelmed. So you edify this to yourself. I'm not consumed, I'm not worried, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm in a be, stay, present state awareness. So that when you're having a conversation with someone, you're actually in it. You're able to listen. You're able to hear what's meant, not said. You're able to read between the lines. You're able to discern. You understand. You know. This is a qualified buyer. This is a legitimate prospect. This is a future homeowner. This is someone who's seeking to improve the quality of their health. Or the non-qualified buyer. This person isn't committed. They're not interested. They're telling me what I want to hear. They're giving me non-buy signals. They're not committed. They're telling me what they think they want to hear. They're not really the person I'm looking for. And so in that trust, that's present. And in that trust, you know. Well, how do you know? Well, when you know, you don't have to explain it to someone else because you know. Oftentimes people go, well, does that make sense? Well, making sense, I mean, that's making pennies because you're not really making sense. What you want to be able to do is understand. Because when you understand, you know. And this is all present moment consciousness. You can do this you can access this consciousness by meditation, by relaxation techniques, by certain types of detox baths. You can do it with saltwater chambers. You can do it through hypnosis. There are many states that you can access this relaxed state of consciousness. You can also simply just lay on your bed, put your arms out, and just be here and be now. And when you let go of future, so, oh my God, I'm in a lawsuit. I'm going to lose everything. I'm not going to make it. This is going to happen to you. Then what you're already doing is you're creating and attracting the very situation you seek to avoid. As you let go, then there's not a connection to what you're seeking not to attract. But when you're holding on to the future, worried about what isn't happening, you're actually magnetizing it to you. I knew this would happen to me. Well, it happened to you because you had a level of expectation that created the outcome you sought to avoid. And when you create this outcome, then you get to be right. The egoic mind. Now, the ego doesn't mean you're arrogant or eccentric. The egoic mind is the analytical egoic self that wants to suffer. And as you're able to simply let go, and I'm going on a little errand here right after this call, and I'm going to take the book Letting Go with me, and I'm going to read a few pages on relationship, health matters, and I'm going to read just a few pages on that so that I can let go of what I'm already letting go of. And the more you let go of what you're already letting go of, then the letting go compounds. The more you understand let go, the more you practice let go, the more you're in the process of letting go, now you're accessing consciousness because there's a separation from the old me. So I am the me right here. So the old me that wants to bounce into you, just turn around and you go like this in a very relaxed way, non-forced, so that you can detach. And that detachment elevates your energy and brings you into consciousness. Now that conscious awareness, that present, that's what it means. To be here, to be now, to be present. When I am present, when I am always letting go, now I'm in a state of awareness. So when you're communicating with someone and you're present, you're hearing. You're intent on hearing what's meant. When you're present, you're able to hear what they said, take a word out of their conversation, insert it into the next sentence, end it with a question, and move the conversation along. This is how you become skilled at selling. It's being able to understand the inner game of it. It's the reflexes of it, understanding the Zen of it, the Z-E-N. You're out of the black and white world, because anytime you're communicating and selling, it's not about being right or being perfect. It's about being effective. And effectiveness also brings you into awareness. Awareness brings you into consciousness. Consciousness is the present. And in the present, you're not always worried. Now, if you grow up with people that are always worried, that doesn't mean you're always worried. But if you take on their worry and you're worried, then you're always worried. My mom was the world's worst worrier. My mom was always worried. Well, understand, but that's not in the gene pool. It's not in the bloodline. It's not in the DNA. What matters is the energy or power you give it. But if you give it power, then you're going to attract your reality to the same situation over and over. I'm falling apart, someone said to me. I'm melting down. I can't seem to get out of bed. Now you're edifying the very situation you seek to avoid. Even though you want to be healthy, or you want this or you want that, if you continue to edify what is not happening, then you continue to create the very situation you seek to avoid. I've said that 4 or 5 times in this call. And most people don't understand that. Their worry magnetizes the very situation they're worried about. And how do I let go of worry? Well, you let go of it by realizing in just a common sense situation that it has no benefit, it has no power. But this is also why I ask many people, what's the payoff? Payoff, there's no payoff. I don't want to be like this. Well, if you didn't want to be like this, you'd be in the process of recovery. Recovery means you're able to separate your feelings from your emotional addictions. You're moving into an elevated state of consciousness where you realize you no longer require being a compulsive debtor, pathological liar, an overwhelmed overwhelmer, a drug addict, an alcoholic, a codependent, any multitude of situations that you continue to attract to fulfill a set of feelings. As you're able to detach, let go, separate feelings from the events, then there's not a mind-body connection to it, and you're not the same situation going over. So to be in the now also allows you to be creative. Your creativity comes to you. You become a lot more innovative. You're not stuck. You're not stagnant. You're not overwhelmed. It's all of a sudden like, you have more aha moments. Like the flashes of brilliance that you actually used to have that you would doubt you could keep now become an everyday way of life. You begin to create and attract your reality, more quality, like-minded people, situations, and opportunities because of the person you are becoming. And it's in that become state that you are here and you are now. You're no longer in an overwhelmed state because you are letting go. That is the present. And in that silence that you're now living in, because you don't have the same emotional chatter going on. And this was the name of Eckhart Tolle's second book. It was called Stillness Speaks. It means that in the stillness comes your voice. You move into the voice of reason, the voice of understand, the voice of know. But until you're able to silence that emotional critic, then you're always going to hear, you're not good enough. This is never going to happen for you. This always happens to you. People don't like you. People always cut you out of their conversation. And you're able to let go of that suppressed stuff feeling that you hold on to that keeps you stuck right here. As you begin to expand your awareness, as you begin to move into consciousness, as you begin to see the whole picture, as you're able to elevate yourself like this, as you live in the solution, all of a sudden the solutions and the results that you're seeking start to come to you. All of a sudden you find an ad in the sports page that goes, I'm going to go see that practitioner. I mean, that happens to you because that always happens to you. You never saw that ad before because you weren't looking for it. All of a sudden you're looking for the content and voila, there it is. And that's exactly how you learn to let go. When you're no longer that mind-body connection to the events, now you're moving into a healthy body. Now you're elevated up into a different level of consciousness. It's called the present. When you focus on the present, for instance, you may have a lot of debt, but you don't focus on the debt, you focus on the solution of the debt, and that's what you do in the present. You create results. And it's that results-oriented consciousness, that production consciousness that takes you out of anxiety, fight or flight, overwhelmed feelings. It takes you out of being in control. It takes you into elevated states of energy called the present, called now. And when you look at the clock, it is officially now o'clock. So in California, it's 1:17 p.m. on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, September 10th, 2019. And in that state, you are grateful to be alive. You are accepting where you are. You understand what is required of you. You're not in this overwhelmed state going, I don't know, I don't understand, I don't know who to be, where to go, what should I do, who do I talk to, I don't have any leads. Well, in that kind of communication, that's the emotional chatter of the ego that wants you to silently suffer. When you're like, so done with this. I mean, I'm done with that. So that's there. So that's like right there. I'm right here. And so in that state, you're able to just be, and it's a be state. How are you doing today? I'm being exceptional. So you're not a human doing, you're a human being. In that state of be, you're in a very relaxed body, letting go of the control that no longer you're in control of, being out of control of. And in that state, you're here and you're now. You are aware. And you don't let people talk you into things. Oh no, don't do that. That'll be tragic. And you go, no, it's cool. I understand. No, don't do this. Someone said this to me today. No, don't. I whatever you do this. And I'm like, cool, I understand. Bye. Gotta go. No, let me give you some advice. No, this person was like out of control, and I'm in complete command of my emotions in the present. And I had stated that I was making a decision to do. I can't believe you're doing. I mean, they were panicking when I'm as cool as the other side of the pillow. When you're no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feeling, then you are you and you are free. I am me and I am free, and you are free. You're free of your ego. You're free of your past. You're able to make peace with your past. You let go of shame of the events you did to yourself and others. You let go of guilt of what other people have done to you that have used guilt to control you. You no longer feel guilty about asking for commitments, decisions, monetary situations that will compensate you. You're able to be here and be now. You're not worried about alienating someone, making a mistake, getting in trouble, saying the wrong thing. You're you. You're your best you. And you're not worried about being your best you because you're focused on being my best me. And in being my best me, that's today. That's not tomorrow. And yesterday is already gone. That's a mystery. Tomorrow is the future. That's the mystery. Yesterday is history. I mean, there's nothing for you to hold on to. You're focused here and you're now. That is the present. That is the brilliance of present moment consciousness. So in that present moment consciousness, that's when you start to create prosperity. That's the flow state. That's the prospero, or I'm in the flow. And when you're in that hands-free zone, you're able to navigate, move, you're flexible, you can adapt and adjust. And you've stepped out of the matrix, you're outside of it. You're an objective viewer. That's what also being present is. You can be an objective observer and a viewer, and what's going on all past you. You're able to watch and let go easily and effortlessly. So letting go is a skill, and I'm one of the most prolific teachers of it. So the first step to letting go is acceptance. The second step is forgiveness. The third step is gratitude. And the fourth step is the action state without anxiety about the future results. And so in that action state is where you learn the repetition, the experience, the skills. And in this, the fifth state of that is intuition. You start to access that consciousness. Intuition is the know state. I know, I'm aware, I'm here, I'm now. And in that state, people start to come to you more frequently. They show up in your inbox. They show up on a phone call. They show up in ads. They show up through referrals. They show up because you're present. You're not trying to get someone or control someone or force someone or make someone, because you're no longer the force and the counter-force relationship. You're no longer adversity, and you're no longer the person that people pick on, because you're not the past, you're the present. You've made peace with it, and you're here and you're now. And as you begin to live in this state more frequently, and I hear Monica says, thank you for speaking this topic, as you're able to access this type of energy, you'll begin to attract more frequently the law of the few who are in alignment with you. And you only require a few people. You require a customer who refers you clients, a teammate who has the same level of consciousness that you do, they show up, a real estate investor who wants you to assist them, a lender who has the money for you. We get to show up because you're conscious, you're here and you're now. Also in this state, there's no conflict for you to be in, no conflict to you to create or to participate in. And if someone brings conflict to you, you're much better at being able to neutralize it. It means you're not drawn into it. You're not, because in the present, you're able to see that and access that, no, that's not what I want to be. I'm not willing to be your punching bag. I'm not your counterforce, and I'm not willing to volunteer to be that person any longer. And in this state of the present, you're able to let go without feeling guilty. Oh my God, they might be upset. They might be mad. I might leave them behind. You silence this inner critic from the past, and you silence the chronic worrier about the future, and you're here and you're now. Mr. Joe DiBianca is on the Facebook Live today. Joe is a master himself at this very topic, and I've had the privilege to share the carpet with him in many events. So he also is someone, you can follow him on Cup of Joe. And I see one of my oldest, longest clients, Barbara Williams, who Barbara and I go back to 1999 when I was her coach, and I watched her become a top-tier dog breeder in Northern California. So Barbara, as always, good to see you on the call or the Facebook Live today. So as in wrapping this content up, present moment awareness is a separation of the regret from the past and the anxiety about the future, where you begin to live in this state. So there's this state right here, and you're not worried about, oh my God, there could be a storm. Oh my God, there could be an earthquake. Oh my God, they might not buy from me. You know, you're silencing that inner worrier about the future, and you silence that inner critic from the past. There's an inner critic from the past and a worry about the future that comes together, and it creates this frantic state that you let go of, so that you're here and you're now. You're in the present, you're consciously aware, you understand, you know, and you're accessing the quantum field, attracting your reality, people and situations while you rest, while you sleep, while you communicate. It's all the time because you're always letting go. Jeffery Combs, president and founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. If you are seeking a free 20-minute coaching call and would like to spend that quality 20 minutes with me, Jeff's, Jeffs, innercircle.com, or you can simply go to Facebook Messenger and request a 20-minute coaching call from me. Thank you very much. You have a great day. This call is recorded, will be available on Podomatic.com. You have a great day.